This programming is sponsored by Central Market, offering chef-prepared appetizers, mains, and sides for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like quiche, grilled chicken, dips, and salads prepared daily. More at centralmarket.com.
This is the Engines of Our Ingenuity, made possible by the Friends of KUHF Houston.
Today, Amateur America goes to her first Olympic Games. The University of Houston's College of Engineering presents this series about the machines that make our civilization run and the people whose ingenuity created them. By the 6th century BC, athletic games were regular events in Greece. The Olympic Games might be the oldest of those. The first records we have of Olympic champions are from 776 BC. The games themselves were probably hundreds of years older still. The earliest contest was a 200-yard run. Later, more games were added: horse races, other foot races, wrestling, javelin, discus. Women weren't allowed to compete or even watch. As the games grew, fat purses replaced olive wreaths. Athletes turned professional. Rome made major spectacles of the games. Finally, the Christian emperor Theodosius was fed up with the pagan and commercial quality of the games. He abolished them in 393 A.D. They stayed dead for 1,500 years. Then, in 1892, a young French aristocrat, Pierre de Coubertin, called for an Olympic revival. He believed the games would create international harmony. His efforts led to the first modern Olympics in Athens in 1896. The King of Greece opened the new games. America took no official interest, but writer Bob Fulton tells how 13 American athletes went to Athens on their own. Harvard student James Conley was the first to decide he'd go. He asked for a leave of absence, and his dean said no. Conley, forced to drop out, never forgave Harvard. The Boston Athletics Association sent 5 athletes. One was Thomas Burke, who ran the 440. He was the only national champion who went. The rest were simply people who wanted to compete. All had to dig up the money to get there. These 13 colonists of the new Olympics boarded the tramp steamer Fulda and set off for Athens. In Naples, they learned that Greece was on the old Julian calendar. The games, scheduled for April 18th, would begin on March 25th by Western reckoning. There was nothing to do but to cross Italy, catch a ship to Patras, and make a 10-hour train ride that reached Athens the day before the games. There they faced a grueling welcoming ritual with hours of speeches in Greek and toasts over cups of Retsina. They arrived at the games bone-weary, hungover, with no hope of doing well. Then a miracle occurred. Conley won the first modern Olympic gold medal with the triple jump. During the next days, those 13 Americans and 2 more who traveled separately won 11 gold medals, the most by any country. Robert Garrett from Princeton competed in several events. The discus was unknown in America, so he had a blacksmith fashion one like those in Greek art. It weighed 20 pounds, too heavy to throw. Once in Greece, he found that a modern discus only weighed 5 pounds. After a few days' practice, he dethroned the Greek champion. Garrett came home with 4 gold medals. Today, the games are played by athletes who are professional in everything but pay. It's a different world, and one whose glory hardly matches those wonderful amateurs a century ago. I'm John Lienhardt at the University of Houston, where we're interested in the way inventive minds work.